and thank you for tuning into the O'Rourke Report. Let's get right to it. Let's see, we left off, we had done the Salt Lake reunion. Now we're going to go on to the new one from Salt Lake. I kind of like it. I think there's some potential in a lot of ways. Sold on Salt Lake City, where we have, she's kind of like I think she's the one I like the most because of the way she's approaching this problem amongst her staff. It's not the right word, staff, but she's the owner or the principal of the real estate agency, Presidio. And it's her job to inspire the salespeople, the agents, to do their best, hit their numbers, and exceed their numbers. And so her job is to make sure that the office is running efficiently in the best way it can, in order to to engender those sales, get those sales. And she's got a problem on her hands right now. She's got a bunch of self-important Karens who have decided to go after this one guy. His biggest crime in the world is to be a straight-laced patriarchal Mormon guy. But if that's what his wife wants, that's how his family unit works, what's the problem? Just back off, people. Just back off. Well, have you ever tried to tell a Karen to back off? It doesn't work very well. So anyway, her job is to keep Matt happy and in the fold, the Karens happy and within the fold. And so far, I've been impressed on the way she handles it. Like, one of the first things she did 2 episodes ago is she called a meeting, like an HR meeting, and spelled it out. This is not going to be tolerated within the office. You need to be respectful to your coworkers. You need to be supportive, and that's what we expect of you as an employee of this agency. I thought she just shut the Karens right down. Of course, they all wanted to get on their high horse about the fact that Matt had gone to a mammary mecca, a stripper joint. Who cares? Obviously, Karen, it's none of your business. And it's only it's ultimately between him and his wife, which you made sure she found out, didn't you, you little weasel? And they're working through it just fine. So anyway, she had that meeting, and the message was received loud and clear to most of them. They needed to back down and maybe go more covert with their actions. Which the lead one, the Malaysia, the one who threw the party that invited the girl, one of her best friends, who has the 4 of my sisters are strippers, and was fully aware that the girl was going to drop the bomb sometime during the party, only to embarrass this guy, Matt. Which, boy, congratulations, you succeeded, Malaysia. In addition, you crushed his wife. Oh, aren't you a hero? So anyway, Jen attempts to have this meeting. She thinks she has to go another step. So this week's episode is she piles them all into a Sprinter van, which we know is a little dangerous in Utah. She piles them all into a Sprinter van, and they go down to this resort part of Utah called St. George, or to a resort in St. George. And I'll tell you, honestly, as a girl born and raised on the East Coast, there's nothing more awe-inspiring than when you see these western vistas. And this place, St. George, is stunning, stunning backdrop, mountains, red rocks, everything is just beautiful. So scene opens up, Sprinter van arrives at St. George's, and the only thing that happened on the way down, again, this Malaysia starting the trouble. She put and text out to the company group text. So she's using company equipment to put out a snarky little text about how she hopes the Sprinter van has a poll. indicating stripper pole, indicating once again she wants to embarrass Matt, and this goes absolutely against what Jen has said that she wants happen. So we have a little tete-a-tete once they arrive down there in St. George between Malaysia and Jen. And Malaysia thinks she's going to win this argument because she thinks she's completely within her right to embarrass this guy as much as she can. And Jen shuts her down. She shuts her down very diplomatically, where she's not insulting Malaysia. She's not being confrontational with Malaysia, but she also sends the message very clearly that that behavior is unacceptable, it's got to stop. And it finally dawns on Malaysia halfway through the conversation. Not only is she not going to win this conversation, but she's kind of being pipped a little bit. And she's rethinking her whole approach to how she's going to get what she wants, which is to embarrass this guy, Matt. So I just love the way Jen handles things. So the next thing we see, they all go to some sort of breathing exercises. They're all in this open, beautiful arena with beautiful background. Yoga mats are spread out, and there's an instructor who's teaching them how to breathe in, breathe out, and what's that going to bring to the surface. What it brings to the surface is not Matt, but Kenny, his fellow patriarchal Mormon guy. He goes into tears and very authentically touches everybody who's watching him. Even the Karens are touched. Or let's put it this way, the Karens are a little confused because they know they can't make fun of him because it's very authentic what he's going through. And but it serves to shut their mouths, or at least their snickering, sneering faces. So again, kudos to Jen for coming up with that. Then we have a commercial, and do you know how Bravo has been using a lot of Bravolebity in commercials that are shown during that particular Bravolebity show? In this case, they have a car commercial. Don't know what the car is, and it's Dorit and Jen, and kind of cute. Dorit didn't look so great. So clearly she wasn't able to curate herself for this commercial. She had to rely on somebody else to do so. And Jen, looking very much like the sophomore year of any housewife or any Bravolebity, has spent a year looking at herself on camera and now has made changes. She's got a frosty lippy. She's got mounds of extensions, but a little sleeker design than what or style than what she ordinarily wears. And it was a cute commercial, but I just thought it was interesting to see Jen kind of reacting to the months of what she's been seeing on camera. So anyway, breathing exercises, Malaysia whining. Okay, Malaysia after the breathing exercise is limiting her snarkiness to her fellow Karen, Sarah. But you can see in Sarah, in the back of her eyes, Sarah's understanding that this is a no-win game here. She's not doesn't really comfortable pursuing Malaysia's hate campaign against Matt. So you see the tide starting to turn. You also start to see that Kenny, the one who had the emotional moment at the breathing exercises, friend of Matt, is also figuring out that Malaysia knew. He suspects that she knew at that party where the stripper gate was revealed that she had set the whole thing up. See, Malaysia's playing it off that, oh, she had no idea what her friend was going to say. Oh, she's completely in the dark about it. And she's so upset that Nicole, Matt's wife, was upset, and which we, the viewer, know is bullshit. See, Malaysia's got to figure this out. There's cameras on her all the time. She's doing something crappy. The cameras have got it, and they're going to show it. They're going to bring the receipts. So she's surely going to figure that out after this year. That stuff she does on camera shows up on TV screens. So, yeah, so her little cohort, Sarah, is starting to get the message. Malaysia, not so much. And Kenny is putting two to two together and coming up with four. He's bringing it to one of the outlier Karens, who he appears, Kenny has a good, friendly coworker relationship with. And even she says, "Boy, if that's true, that's really dark." So that's where we're going to go in the next episode. There's gonna be that reveal on Malaysia, so looking forward to that. Okay, let's go down Charleston. Let's go to Southern Charmed. We saw a couple of tender little scenes. Venita's got a crush on JT, and it's really a sweet little crush. It was kind of reminiscent of back in the day when in high school or whatever, where you would have a crush on guy, and she's very much acting that way, and it's sweet to see. But then she has him over for dinner. He's very gentleman, very courtly. He comes over for dinner. She fusses around the house. She's an influencer. I think she's a lifestyle influencer and fashion. Her house is adorable. It really is a picture postcard, kind of like Madison's too. Madison is always fussing around her house. And so, anyway, she has JT over for dinner. They talk about their mutual, or their seemingly mutual kind of crush on each other, and JT reveals he's got a girlfriend. This is the first time we're hearing about the girlfriend. First time anybody's hearing about the girlfriend. They cut to a picture of JT with the girlfriend, so we know she's real. She looks like a nice gal, but Venita's a little embarrassed, as we could all feel it. We can all feel it, declaring our love or our attraction to someone and finding out, oh, I think you're great too, but yeah. Oh my God. And we see a little bit more of Sally, who is wearing a top with no bra, and her boobs that's all you can see is her boobs. But then she announces, which I thought was very interesting, she announces that they're implants and she's going to have them removed because she did them for an old boyfriend and she's learned her lesson. Never do something like that again. We also found out, strangely, she had this conversation with Molly, who was the model. Molly actually fat taken from her ankles and injected into her boobs. That was her way of getting a boob job, was putting ankle fat in her boobs. I never knew that. I never knew you could do that. So that was interesting. We hear a little bit more about who is this? Mother Allie, no less. I don't know. Whitney tells Shep that his girlfriend. All right, we see that Shep and the girlfriend seem to be having some problems. Apparently, the girlfriend is ghosting Shep. Shep's not used to being ghosted. Shep is 45 years old, chasing after a 26-year-old, and she's probably out having a great time. She's ghosting him, but that also, and he's at his wit's end. He doesn't know how to put this together. Interesting, kind of satisfying in a way. It's about time. Yeah, welcome to the second half of your dating life, Shep, because the more you pursue those little 26-year-olds, as you age and age and age, this is going to happen over and over again. So find a girl your own age. But anyway, we find out from Miss Patricia that the way Shep and Sienna met was through Raya, which is a dating site for famous people. Evidently, everybody's vetted before they get on it, and not famous people, but I guess, well, celebrities, Bravolebitys, all sorts of people. Didn't Ben Affleck or somebody go on Raya, or somebody did? I don't know. It's a site for well-known people. And then Miss Patricia announced she knows this because Sienna went after Whitney first. And then Whitney turned her down, and then she turned to Shep. So that looks like that's coming up in next week's episode. And Shep's ego is not doing very well with that information. These are all warning calls, Shep. These are all warning calls. Southern Hospitality, Mean Girl, Karen, Molly. Yeah, well, they have their cast of Mean Girls there too. Some of the peripheral waitresses, Molly, Siobhan, and Lake. They snicker every time something goes wrong for Emmy. And Emmy's the one you root for this year because she has the snickering Karens working behind her back. We have the two gay guys trying to do the right thing for everybody, TJ and Michaels, and we have Joey Bibles, now known as Joey Bottles. He and Maddie just being a cute couple that I really like to see together. And and they had Grace Lilly came back, and I don't know about you, but tell me what you think. She appears to me, especially this week's episode, that she's heavily sedated, almost drugged. It's either that or she may be, and forgive me if this is, I hope this is true. She may be a little slow. Is she a little slow? I'm not sure. But she appears heavily sedated, and I'm not quite sure why they bring her out every once in a while. I know she's friends with Maddie, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on with her. Then later that night, we had Miss Patricia once again on Watch What Happens Live, who announces that she thought Paige was mean to Craig. She also thought Naomi was mean to Craig, and that Craig needs to find a nice girl. And she thought Molly might be a good fit. I don't know if Molly is alpha enough for Craig. I think Craig likes the alpha girls. So here we are, still wishing Craig all the luck in finding his true love on social media this week after the comment by Miss Patricia and Austin, who was also on the same Watch What Happens Live episode. Austin was asked the question, what did they think about the rumors that Paige has been dating or had somebody waiting in the wings? And Austin says, well, gee, the evidence sure looks that way. And, and so anyway, we have Paige reacting to that all over social media with something that I don't know, she's desperately trying to make a thing. I never heard of it, and I'll never listen to it. Is there that podcast she has with Hannah Burner called the Giggly Squad. She's taking the offensive, and she is claiming that she is single. She is not dating anybody, and boy, the rumors started real quick on her. I don't believe I don't believe it. I believe Paige is in her 30s now, and the real world is maybe coming out, rearing its head. You're cute and giggly when you're in your 20s, and you can get away with murder. Not so much in your 30s. Not so much in your 30s. So anyway, she is on the offensive with that. So we'll see what happens. All right. What do we have here? Can we do this? Yeah, we can do this real quick. Potomac was a disaster. It was its usual mess. Apparently, we're seeing more of Ashley and that boyfriend, who is another TJ, not to be confused with TJ, the gay bartender from Southern Hospitality. This is TJ, the celibate boyfriend of Ashley. We see a little bit more of him. They've been sneaking little, the producers have been sneaking little shots and things of him in the last couple of episodes that we now see more, and he's not very likable. And why is Stacy continuing to say he's her best friend? And they have and everything's fine with her. I don't know. There's more to this story than we don't know. Uh, Quick observation: Giselle's house. We had a couple of drone aerial shots of Giselle's house, and it is, you know how I always go about Sutton's house being a mishmash. Several different styles were all connected together with breezeways. Giselle's house is just the same. She's got four different styles on the facade, front facade of her house. Four different styles. And if you remember when she got the house, she that's exactly how she designed it. She tried to pull all these disparate things together and clad it in that white the horizontal board with the black trim. You see it, well, you first really saw it everywhere with the Vanderpump Rules when everybody was buying. Hello there, little Miss Clo. What are you saying today? Move it, move it. Um, the white clad with the black trim, you first saw it when everybody in Vanderpump Rules started buying houses in the valley. And now here we are 5 years later, and you literally see it everywhere. So interesting that Giselle's house is also a mishmash, just like Sutton's house. We were treated to Wendy Osefo at the White House. It was brutal because she's brutal, but you can see, like I said, with the Married to Medicine ladies, I don't care what your politics are, you're invited to do something at the White House. It's a big deal and it's something to be very proud of. So, oh yeah. TJ, boy, he when he first came into that uh, whatever it was, charity thing that Stacy was running, he was a little crazy. He took immediately control. He was very scary in a way. Karen saying Stacy is Mia and Ashley dragging Stacy's way. Poor Stacy's way. Ashley's outfit again. She looked inappropriate as always. Okay, Married to Medicine. Nothing much happened except Quad hit the sauce and she hit it hard, and she got drunk at the couple's um, little married, what used to be that show? Oh, the newlywed game. The couple's newlywed game where they see how well each couple knows each other, and she was bombed, and Gregory did not handle it well, and nor should he. Quad treated him very poorly at the end of their marriage, I thought. At least this is what we saw on camera. He's trying to get something going, happening with his new wife. He's still desperate for children, and as is the new wife, Sweet Tea. And there's Quad going on. She wants 15 babies with this man, her new boyfriend, King. And it was a little cringy. It should have been shut down. So anyway, we are caught up. Thank you so much. Let me bring into the forefront here. Here we've got our little Miss Chloe. That if you like what you see and you want to be notified every time we put up new content, please hit the subscribe button, beep, 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 and hit the like button. Right. And I would like that very much. That helps me a lot with the algorithm. So anyway, thanks again for tuning in, and I will talk to you later this week when, of course, we have Beverly Hills, we have New York, we have Salt Lake City. We got them all. Okay, thanks for tuning in, and I will talk to you soon.